doctor work for 9 months, 16 months, 19 months without getting paid.
But you see how much kidnappers are picking for victims.
My thing is, government will obviously organize this. And I think we get that. The 3% for the oil producing community is too low.
So the support that is needed, and once you get the support, your energy will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Inside Nigeria here at the Leadership Television. My name is Bode Badibo. As usual, we shall take you through what the front pages are saying and as well have a discussion about the trending issue of the day. And of course, my guests are already waiting for me. Without much ado, let's quickly start with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, The Leadership. On the front page of Leadership this morning, presidential running mates, candidate parties face hard choices 72 hours to deadline. Presidential running mates, candidate parties face hard choices 72 hours to deadline. And that's what's on the front page of Leadership this morning. APC stakeholders want Northern Christian as running mates to Tinubu. Ex-ACF scribe roots for Dogara. Shetima, Ganduje, El-Rufai still on the card. Atiku, PDP pick running mates today. Wike deserves to be VP, according to Oka. That's on the front page of Nigeria's most influential newspaper this day. And as well, you can look down below the list story to see a different scene at the 2022 Democracy Day parade, which was held at the Eagle Square yesterday. Now let's move to our sister publication, the National Economy. On the front page of National Economy, insurers consider cybercrime coverage to guarantee online fund transfers. Insurers consider cybercrime coverage to guarantee online fund transfers. Cyber risk coverage still an evolving risk in Nigeria, according to experts. Grab a copy of our sister publication, the National Economy, to get the details of this interesting story. Now let's move to the third paper on our menu this morning. The Blueprint newspaper. What do we have on the bottom of the Blueprint? Just two for presidential running mates. APC stakeholders reject Muslim tickets. Just two for presidential running mates slots. APC stakeholders reject Muslim tickets. And that's what we have on the front page of the Blueprint this morning. All right, the next paper on our menu is the Nation newspaper. And of course, the Nation is the second to the last newspaper. Is about insecurity in the country or killings. Controversy rages over ISWAP link. Or killings. Controversy rages over ISWAP link. Fayemi joins Akeredolu to doubt federal government claim. Burial for 40 victims slated for this Friday. Our killings, controversy rages over ISWAP link. Fayemi joins Akeredolu to doubt federal government link. Federal government claim as burial for 40 victims of the attack is slated for this Friday. And of course, the last paper we have for you is the Punch newspaper. And what we have on the front page of the Punch this morning, politics as reported by Leadership and Blueprint newspaper. Earlier, Southeast PDP demands Atiku's VP slot. Party dismisses Obi's threat. Southeast PDP demands Atiku's VP slot as party dismisses Obi's, of course, Obi's Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 elections. Party leaders hold crucial meeting with Atiku today, say Obi's popularity only on social media. Former Anambra governor, a phenomenon, will shock PDP at presidential poll, according to his campaign team. only running mate slot can wrestle Southeast votes from Obi, according to Anambra PDP spokesperson. Well, I don't know what will happen. Will Atiku still come back to form a kind of alliance with Labour Party's Obi or not? Only time will tell. But then there is a deadline, and that deadline is about to elapse in the next 72 hours, according to INEC schedule of election and time table. Let me quickly bring in my guests to weigh in on some of the issues and as well have a proper discussion, then for our viewers to get perspective from our stakeholder. Let me bring in Honorable Bimbo Daramola, Congressman, former federal lawmaker, and also chieftain of the Democratic Party. And as well, let me bring in Mazi Nnamdi Iroegbe, indigenous people.
Iroegbu, don't murder my name. It's Iroegbu.
Mazi Nnamdi Iroegbe, convener.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure. Honorable, good morning.
My brother, only for the boss. Well done.
I will start with Mazi Nnamdi Iroegbe because I know you are currently rooting for the Labour Party's presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, a former governor of Anambra State. Now, Mazi, let me ask you, we have a deadline, 72 hours to picking a running mate. Can you tell us the mind of Peter Obi, who will be his likely running mate? Or is there a possibility that Peter Obi will accept overtures from PDP to have an alliance for the 2023 presidential election?
Thank you very much, and good morning to the viewers. Well, first of all, I cannot particularly tell you the mind of the indefatigable, the very movement that is going on right now in Nigeria, which is Comrade Peter Gregory Obi of the Labour Party. I can't tell you his mind, but I can tell you clearly that one thing that will not happen is to accept whatever PDP is offering. PDP has nothing to offer to the candidate of Labour Party, that is Peter Obi. Peter Obi's campaign has gone beyond. It has gone beyond PDP and whatever virtue they are making to it. It's not even available to be considered. However, about who possibly can become his running mate, well, the consultation is going on, and I can assure you that Peter Obi, as a great leader, understands that there is a need to unite Nigeria, that there is a need to bring all interests, together. And because that this movement is about the Nigerian people, be rest assured that whoever he would choose as his running mate, that the Nigerian people will be excited, because he understands clearly that there is something about the present need of the nation to unify the nation. And Peter Obi has shown that that capacity is there to unite the Nigerian people towards a greater nation. So between now and the deadline given by INEC, excuse me, I'm very certain that Peter Obi will make public who will be his running mate. It is his choice to make, and I'm very, very convinced that he will make the right choice. But jettisoning any thinking whatsoever that he will consider whatever PDP is offering. PDP has nothing to offer anymore, because indeed, a party that couldn't keep its own constitution, a party that couldn't uphold what is written in black and white as its constitution, that party cannot be trusted. As far as I'm concerned, PDP has shown that you cannot reward loyalty. They have no value for loyalty. They have no value for commitment to the party. And therefore, they should expect that they will be rewarded accordingly. I thought they said that only the northern candidate can win election. So Atiku can as well choose his running mate from Jeddah, where he comes from, or go to Meduguri or Kano and choose his running mate. After all, they just want to win election. They don't care about the unity of Nigeria. So they should not be confused about whether Southeast or South is going to be, whether they are going to get their running mate slot. They shouldn't even think in that direction because they want to win election. And it's only the North that can win election as far as PDP is concerned. So they should go ahead and choose their running mate. Atiku should go ahead and choose his running mate from Jeddah, where he comes from, or go to any other northern zone and pick his running mate. I'm very certain that he will win his election. But we know that the Nigerian people cannot tolerate further this nonsense that is going on in our country, where people are slaughtered by the seconds and we are moving on like nothing is going on. We've not had light in some parts of Nigeria for the past 4 or 5 days. We're tired of that nonsense, really. And we have a leadership in Peter Obi that is very clear about where to take the Nigerian nation, to economic-wise and otherwise. So be rest assured about this issue of running mate for Peter Obi. He will make the right choice, and the Nigerian people will be excited for it.
All right, thank you, Mazi. Now let me come to Honorable Bimbo Daramola, aka Congressman. Honorable, tell me, what's your opinion about this politics of picking running mates by presidential candidates? We have been back and forth. Oh, Muslim ticket. Oh, it should not be. Oh, it should be. Oh, it can be. Oh, it cannot be. What's your opinion about all these politics?
Well, thank you very much, buddy. It's a very simple thing. One, there's a constitutional requirement that for your presidential ticket to be valid in the first place, you must have a running mate. So it's a constitutional requirement, it's a provision of the law that must be met for your ticket to be valid. So the validity of your ticket, therefore, is contingent on the fact that you come with a vice president. Okay. Now, having established that platform, you now begin to look at other considerations. There are fine details of the process that may not be known to everybody. But the truth of the matter is that for your ticket to go beyond just being a ticket, there must be considerations that you will have to factor into it. One of them is the one that my brother has spoken about, which is about sensibilities that must be respected, But you see, at a time like this, Nigerians are bound to call to question anything that would seem to widen our cohesion. Instead of bringing us together, something that tends to divide us the more. Today, no doubts about it, there's mutual suspicion everywhere. That's not contentious. So I will expect that presidential standard bearers of parties will be sensitive to that. That's number one. Number two, I'm also mindful of the fact that we had risen beyond the basis of sentiments like religion way back in 1993, when Bashir M.K. Abiola picked a vice presidential ticket candidate from the north, and then, of course, respecting geopolitical considerations, but downplaying sentiments of religion. Some people may have issues with the fact that I said sentiment, but that's what it is. It's just sentiment, because religion does not put food on the table. Religion does not curb insecurity. Religion does not improve infrastructure. Capacity does. Capability does. Compassion does, and all of that. So I would expect that much as, and again, if you have a ticket that respects all of those sentiments and then does not take you to the villa, all of what you intend to do for Nigerian people will end in your manifesto or your blueprint. So there's a delicate balance here that we must identify. The North tends to believe that with 19 states, okay, they have the numbers. But there's also a constitutional provision that says you must have a spread of 25% in, I think, a quarter of the number of states in this country. So it's a delicate balance, but I'm too sure that all of those candidates, from Peter Obi to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu to Atiku Abubakar, former vice president, Waziri Adamawa, and all of these people will also be mindful of who and who is going to make that ticket comfortable to Nigeria, make it more appealing to Nigeria, and also a ticket that can also win the election at the end of the day.
All right, I will stay with you, Honorable Bimbo Daramola, even though you justify why we should not walk up ourselves about whether it should be same-faith ticket or Christian Muslim ticket or otherwise. But I want to ask, if we insist on rotational presidency, like Mazi Nnamdi Iwebu is actually canvassing for, I know he's an advocate of power shift to the southeast, then if we bother about that, why should we not bother about a balanced faith ticket? Talking about Christian Muslim ticket, Christian Muslim Christian ticket, and not same faith ticket.
Well, like I said, you have to dissect what exactly you want to achieve. Listen, political parties are vehicles to take you to power, not to take you to church or to take you to the mosque. And then number two is the fact that is what do you do with the power when you get it? You understand? And of course, our constitution is clear on the place of justice, of fairness, of equity. These are non-negotiable instruments of citizenship. So I believe that anybody who seeks to become the president of this country at this time wants to address our staggering issues. One of them that sticks out like a sore thumb today is the issue of insecurity. That you are a pope does not give you the capacity to deal with the issue of insecurity. That you are a sheikh from Saudi Arabia does not give you the capacity to address such a challenge. For instance, economy. You don't need to be a pope or a sheikh to be able to deal with the issue of corruption. This is the same country where 80 billion, all of a sudden now, we are hearing another 90 billion suddenly disappeared. Don't forget that the guys who have done this are either Abdullahis or Matthews or John or Sulex. What we are saying now is that, one, sentiments, and I keep saying sentiments because it's sentimental. Listen, don't forget that Nigeria is not just a country of Christians and Muslims alone. We have people who are atheists in this country. We have people who are animists in this country. And every Nigerian is equal to another Nigerian under the law, regardless of who you are. I am saying that either you are animist or you are a Christian or you are a Muslim, or what you are first and foremost concerned about is your safety. And that is why Section 14, subsection 2, clearly does not talk about religion or about any other thing. It speaks to citizenship and the duty of government, which when it says that the primary purpose of government shall be the security and welfare of the people. Welfare does not have connotations of religion. Security does not have connotations of religion. So I am saying that as these people seek to validate that ticket that they have in their hands, they must respect sensibilities and sentiments, but far and beyond that is the capacity to have a tag team that will take Nigeria from where it is today.
All right, thank you, Honorable Daramola. Now, Mazi Iwebu, you accuse the People's Democratic Party of being unfair to the Southeast. So let me now ask you about the voting pattern of the delegates at the just concluded national convention of these major political parties. Now, we'll not talk about Labour Party because Peter Obi was unanimously affirmed by delegates at the convention. Now, let's talk about the PDP and the APC. You saw what happened. Do you still want to blame the PDP for being unfair to the Southeast when Southeast delegates, majority of them, voted for aspirants from other parts of the country?
My dear brother, the Southeast has been maligned, thoroughly maligned by Nigerians for not even singling the delegates out to vote for whoever it is, or speaking the mind of the Southeasterners? Well, let me answer it this way. Money answered to all things. APC and PDP monetized the process that threw up their candidate or flag bearer. And so that they purchased the flag of their party or the ticket of their party, no tribe or zone or region should be condemned. You understand me in this case? That, oh, Southeastern delegates or Igbo delegates, that they didn't vote according to the clamor for Southeast presidency. Excuse me, $20,000 in the case of PDP and $25,000 in the case of APC. Come on, my brother, let's be fair. That's not the issue here. We are living as a people in Nigeria. Nigeria is a nation. The parties, as Honorable said, are vehicles to take you to whether you're going for chairmanship, councillorship, or governorship, or presidency, as the case may be. Now, because these parties must function as enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria, one expected that instead of the kind of plutocracy as we are seeing the parties play now, which is not democracy, the parties APC and PDP, their primaries was clearly for the rich and not as espoused by the inventors of democracy. Democracy is said to be the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That's not what PDP did. That's not what APC did. What they did was government of the rich, by the rich, and for the rich. So in this case, therefore, these two parties don't care about the Nigerian people, clearly. So I'm saying that, please, let us stop this attempt to malign the Southeasterners. Money was used to purchase the ticket of the two major political parties, and that's what the case is. But you my honorable talked about how that 80 billion was stolen, and recently that 90 billion. Well, that's the case as we have seen in our country, because the rich, they don't care about the people. Every day in our country, people are slaughtered by the seconds, by the minute. Not less than 100 people are killed in Nigeria every day. And we're moving on. The rich doesn't care about the poor. But here, God has given us an opportunity. You say you won't talk about Labour Party. You see, God still cares about this country. And that's why we have an alternative in Peter Obi. The Nigerian people will speak. Look out for how people are trooping out now for the PVC and all of that. The two major political parties will be shocked in 2023. I believe that history will be made, just as history was made in 2015 when the incumbent was sacked. History will be made when these two major political parties will be shown the back door, that they will have had enough of the stealing of our common patrimony, enough of everything negative that you can think of, that is happening in our country. Let's not in any way single out any zone to be maligned. Poverty is as same as in the north as in the south. Insecurity is as same as in the north as in the south. So it has nothing to do with zone. What we are saying is that in this 2023, as we are going towards this election, that we have an option. All we are praying God is INEC create the enabling environment for the Nigerian people to make the right choice. Our leaders have failed. Honorable talked about the two major purposes for which government exists, which is the welfare of the people and the security of the people. In these two, the Nigerian people have seen that these leaders do not care about their welfare. They do not care about their security. So we must save ourselves. The Nigerian people must save themselves. Because the two major political parties don't give a hoot about us. They don't care. They don't care. So they have this money. They have the money they spent to purchase these tickets, and ASU is on strike for 18 billion naira only. And the money is there. They don't care about us because their children are abroad schooling and all. When they want to go, when they are sick, even for headache alone, they travel out to treat whatever it is. that is their ailment. So we, the Nigerian people, here we have an opportunity to save ourselves from the shenanigans of the elites, from the shenanigans of the rich in this country, who don't care, who don't give a hoot about us. It's not about any zone. Peter Obi is a unifier. The poor, the rich can identify with him. The Hausa, the Igbo, the Fulani, the Yoruba, the Ibibio, the Ijaw, the North, the South identifies with what Peter Obi is saying. The angles, the issues he's raising resonates with the Nigerian people. That's why I say God has given us an opportunity to rescue ourselves from the grip of these evil men and women that have held us to captivity.
That will be left for Nigerians to. That will be left for Nigerians to decide. You actually made your points. Now let me go to Honorable Bimbo Daramola. Honorable Daramola, I will ask you a personal question now. You were elected on the platform of the All Progressive Congress (APC) to the Nigerian House of Representatives, and record abound at the risk of sounding patronizing. There is a record that you delivered dividend of democracy to your people in Ekiti State.
You,
now you left the party. You have left the party for the Social Democratic Party (SDP). So let me ask you first, personally, why did you leave the APC for the Social Democratic Party (SDP)?
Well, like they say, thank you, buddy. All politics is local. That's what they say. And so my decision to listen to the voice of my supporters, long-suffering, beleaguered people, to move from the APC to SDP wasn't just my personal intention. It wasn't a flight in fantasy. Now, let me make this abundantly clear to you. I'm not into politics because I'm looking for exit route out of poverty. I work, I have a job. President Obasanjo told us that every reliable, dependable, every politician that will be reliable, dependable, and forthright must have a second address. I do have a second address. I have a place that I wake up in the morning and go to, and I close at 6 o'clock, or sometimes 11 o'clock, as my schedule may so decide or determine. Now, moving from there, I didn't just jump into politics because I believe that, I just want to be, because what we see today is that once you're either looking for a job and you can't find a job in good time, or once you've made some money and you want to cover your rot, or you want to cover your dark side and all of those things, politics becomes where you find a comfort, for some people. Now, I say to you that I see poverty stalk the land. I see, and I grieve, it grieves my mind. And I'm tired of just saying that out of the little that God has given to me, I tend to share and share until I become so broke myself. And I'm saying that even at the worst of times, Nigeria could be better than this. Even at the worst of times, Ekiti State could be better than it is today. And that was how I felt that apart from that, the shenanigans of the ruling party in my state, and it took me a long time. I left the parliament in 2015. I have not gone to anybody to ask for a bottle of water. Neither has anybody offered. But I'm not angry with that. I'm angry because nobody's even willing to listen to my complaints. Nobody's willing to listen to what I consider clear deprivations when people are in power and they want to continue to use power to oppress instead of using power as a tool for liberty, And for me, I am more like, I told somebody that what I want to be written on my tombstone, the epitaph I want to be written on my tombstone when I die, is here lies the body of a man who cares about the next person. How much of wealth do we really need to live well? And that's the appeal of Peter Obi for me anyway. And of course, for some of these people who are presidential aspirants today, how much of food can we eat? How many cars can we drive at the same time? How many wristwatches can we wear? At the expense of young kids who should be in school, at the expense of women who are still challenged about, who still worry about whether they go into maternity hall and come back alive or dead with their babies. We travel on roads in Ekiti State. The roads are bad, and they have so much made a god out of the governor, and the governor also reigns like, okay, fine, everybody must be under my feet and grovel. I respect him. I respect his position, But there are things that people have done. I didn't listen.
Honorable Bimbo, let me cut you short for want of time. You also made your point. So quickly, let me ask you about this weekend Ekiti governorship election. What are the chances of your party's governorship candidate, former Governor Segun Oni? What are the chances of your party?
Well, Segun Oni comes to that job with 3.5 years of experience, having been a former governor. And it's amazing that the man who's left power 12 years ago will be generating the kind of buzz he's generating in Ekiti today. It's not usual. It's not common that a man he's not doing that. He doesn't even have the kind of.
It seems we have an issue with connection to Honorable Bimbo Daramola, a former member of the Federal House of Representatives. Now, let me come back to Mazi Nnamdi Ruwegu. Mazi, I want you to give a parting shot as we wind down.
Okay.
So I want you to give a parting shot as we wind down.
Oh, great. Well, thank you for this platform. And I'm open anytime, I can assure you, as long as it has to do with our engaging to, better our nation. All I can say to every Nigerian out there who possibly is watching or who may watch after, please, if you don't have your PVC, go get it. It's important. It will count. Your vote will count this time. Please get your vote, get your PVC, and participate in the process of choosing the next president, the next group of leaders of this country. It is important that you participate. You owe yourself that responsibility. You owe yourself that duty. We cannot continue like this. We cannot. Nigeria deserves better. Nigerians deserve better. Let us go out and participate. Let's show that enough is enough.
All right, thank you, Honorable Mazi Nnamdi Ruwegu. Now, Honorable Bimbo Daramola is back. I need you to conclude your line of thought before we round up this program for want of time.
Thank you very much, buddy. Well, to any Ekiti man, who may watch this right now, who may be watching this now, watching later, my appeal to you is that this is an existential election. It's existential because the lives of our people, your friend, your kids and kin, your brother, your cousin, your uncle.
Since the technical challenges with Honorable Bimbo Daramola's connection, and we have actually run out of time. The day is well spent. The time is well spent already. Many thanks to Mazi Nnamdi Ruwegu, convener, Indigenous People of Biafra, for joining us this morning. And Honorable Bimbo Daramola, congressman, former member of House of Representatives, for also creating time to join us. Many thanks to both of you. We've come to the end of today's Inside Nigeria. Make it there with us tomorrow for the midweek edition. We are Winifred Ogebo. We'll be holding forth. My name remains Body Dadibo. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.